All right. You guys see this shit?
You are watching as Broadview police respond to a 911 call, claiming someone was tampering with a gate at the ICE detention facility there. Body camera footage obtained by the CBS News Chicago investigators shows several Broadview police officers respond to an alleged homeland security threat. The gate in question is where ICE takes detained immigrants for processing.
What's up, guys?
Hey, what's up?
Not much.
How are you?
Good. We got a call of subjects trying to...
What are ICE trying to achieve by doing this other than pissing off local police? Well, for the most part, they're pissing off local police, but also the key... Oh, so again, remember, okay? ICE can arrest people, but they can only bring them to federal detention facilities unless the local police are explicitly cooperating. The vast majority of detention facilities in any part of America are going to be local, not federal. ICE can only arrest people and bring them into federal. So... if ICE wants to harass, intimidate, or illegally arrest people who are doing nothing much wrong at all, they're trying to goad the police into doing it. They want the support of the police, but they don't have the support of the Chicago police. So in this case, they're essentially just antagonizing both the CBS reporters here and the police.
Climb over the fence or something?
No, not since we've been here.
But when police arrive, all they find is two people and a camera. Our CBS photographer filming the exterior of the building with a CBS security guard by his side.
Okay, you guys didn't tamper with any of the...
No, man. The 911 call claiming someone was tampering with the gate came from an ICE agent. According to this incident report, an ICE agent called police for help.
It's basically swatting. I mean, essentially, it's you're filing a false report. This is a crime. They're committing a crime. The cops could arrest this ICE agent for doing this. It would just be, you know, difficult to do.
But he can't go and try to force his way in that door.
Okay, so the guy in the
He just says
No,
that
the
he
guy
was
in
just
the
recording.
camera.
Do you believe that that was a false call?
I do.
Again, it was just our CBS photographer filming the exterior of the building.
In your mind, bogus.
Yes. It's disturbing. It's ridiculous.
Broadview Police Chief Thomas Mills says this is just one of several questionable 911 calls his police department has received from ICE at this facility recently. This same detention center has become the site of at least 3 other incidents involving federal agents who are accused of hitting people with cars, shooting projectiles, and using chemical agents on journalists, including a CBS reporter.
I do believe the Chicago DA is looking into charges for some ICE officials who were assaulting civilians. Please. Please. I want it so badly. I want the video. I want the video of an ICE agent getting arrested by cops. Please, God, I beg of you. I need it. I need it. I need it so badly. You have no idea how badly I need it. Oh my God. ICE accidentally tear gassed the Chicago police during clash protesters. Oh yeah, I saw this one. The ICE are deployed tear gas over basically nothing, and because they all have gas masks on, you know, at the ready, they just you know, they don't give a fuck about hitting cops. They holding hands. They're friends, just trying to walk out of the tear gas cloud, which is, you know, bad for your vision, I'm told. ICE will keep doing this. Yeah, well, again, I do the people keep doing this thing where they're like, oh, I thought Republicans backed the blue. Again, you don't understand, all right? I genuinely believe the DHS agents that are fronting these big pushes in major Democrat cities are being brought in, and they are recruited from like militias from the right, 3%ers or whatever, you know? We're talking about people who are literally like neo-Nazi militiamen who are now being given a government paycheck to continue doing what they wanted to do, but with masks on. Like, they are just brown shirts. These people don't like cops. They're the 3%ers. The Patriot Front, these people think that cops are like cucks controlled by Jews. They don't like police. They don't get along with police. And as many criticisms as I have of American police, which are, and you've watched my streams, so you know perfectly well how I feel about American police, a few things still remain like a difference. For one, American police do have some training. On average, more than these people in the DHS. For two, it is possible that a lot of these officers have like some community ties locally. You know, they're like members of their community and they care about law and order. None of these DHS do. None. 0% of these DHS fucks care about law and order or the community. They're federal agents and they're neo-Nazis. Okay? So like, again, it's really like there's always a bigger fish kind of situation, right? Where like American police are awful, but congratulations, Republican Party, you've created a monster significantly worse. Possibly so bad that you might actually antagonize the police to the point that they don't want to get along with you. Which, again, if the cops don't go along with you, you're in rough. Do you have any idea how impossible it would be for the DHS to operate if local AGs and local police started filing charges against them? It'd be impossible. They'd literally, like, they'd be kept in Washington. They'd be kept in DC. They wouldn't be able to do shit. There's nowhere near enough ICE agents to like war against American local police. Yeah, word has been pretty good. Like these local police commissioners, the department chiefs, they're not particularly happy with what's going on, which matters. We actually recently saw a video, what was it, from a former police chief in Seattle? Not current one, but a former one. Current police chief's a bit more of a dipshit, I think. But the Broadview police chief, who just spoke in the segment we just watched, I think we might have even seen this clip before.
I was shocked. I've never been spoken to by a fellow law enforcement officer in such a way.
Broadview Police Chief Thomas Mills says on top of requiring 75% of his department's manpower for crowd control outside of the ICE processing
Jesus Christ
facility in the west suburban city, he was personally verbally attacked by ICE agents during a protest.
I'm a leader of a department. I know that my officers are looking at me for guidance and leadership, and I had to ensure that, you know, I had to stay calm and not engage in such unprofessional behavior.
Chief Mills says he was walking across a skirmish on September 12th, the day this video was shot. He was called multiple expletives by an ICE agent, calling him a coward, accusing him of neglecting his duties during protests that got physical. Mills also telling the I-Team about an incident earlier this week where a pedestrian was hit by a truck near the ICE facility.
Allegedly, a ICE agent struck someone and continued on into their location. And during the course of that, while trying to gather information, there was pepper spray release while my officers right there. They felt the effects of that pepper spray where it altered their vision. You know, they were coughing, and I was on the phone with them, and they had to leave the area so they can decontaminate themselves.
Now Broadview's
again, like if local DAs start putting out arrest warrants for ICE agents who commit, and again, they're committing crimes nonstop, they're breaking the law constantly. If they get some arrests, the pants are going to fall off ICE real quick. Okay, this is not a sustainable project, and those juries will convict. Oh no, 100%. The juries will be pleading with the judge for the death penalty. No, the jury, a Chicago jury. Are you kidding me? They would be losing their mind. They would be like, every juror would be like, they'd be wrestling in the goddamn deliberation room, trying to, you know, win the right to read out the ruling to the stand. You know, 12 angrier men, 12 angriest men, 12 angry men. Parentheses, not because they disagree, they agree and they're angry about it. End parentheses. Doesn't juror 1 read the ruling? I'm just saying shit, man. I'm just saying shit.
Hear from you when it comes to, first off, the National Guard being in place. Have you seen them? Do you know what they're doing there?
No, they are not in place at this time. They're receiving some additional.
What are the odds, though, of Trump using that as a means to impose martial law? I gotta say, right now, these tiny, pathetic little deployments they're trying to get away with are not impressing me. Right now, there are 200 being sent to Chicago, and they've failed to send any to Portland. Like, yeah, he can sign the Insurrection Act, which would be a huge deal if he did. Sure, he could invoke it, but that wouldn't change the legal battle about deploying the military. They would have to invoke the Insurrection Act, and then also go over judges' heads to send the armies into these cities. And then, what does the Insurrection Act actually let him do? It allows the military to conduct arrests. Okay, to what jails? Who's going to prosecute? So you're telling me these judges are getting ignored? You have a bunch of National Guardsmen being sent to Portland doing what? 200 of them just standing around an ICE facility so they can legally arrest. Okay, to what cell? They're going to send them to the federal? Is local PD going to work with them? Probably not, nor is there any legal obligation for them to. I don't actually think the Insurrection Act would fix their problems here. The problem they're dealing with is that the only institution that's excited about all this fascism is the Department of Homeland Security. Who's going to prosecute them? Okay, say the military manages to make arrests, okay? Find me the local prosecutors that are going to go after these people who are arrested. Oh, you've got martial law. You really think like the Portland DA is going to be like, okay, well, here's 300 protesters that were arrested in an unambiguous fascist takeover. Let me just prosecute. No, absolutely not. And if they go federal, they can't process cases that quickly. Federal prosecutors are going to now have to process 300, 400, 500, 600 people in a city? There's no way. Illinois is investigating ICE after they stripped a woman of her clothes. Yeah, I saw this one. This was the Black Hawk helicopter invasion, and they dragged like basically naked women and children out into the streets and zip tied them and left them on the ground. Separated the parents from the children. I bet that's second nature to your average ICE individual. They're so evil, and it's actually making them unpopular. Yeah, no, yeah, 100%. Again, like it makes me wonder how well the Gestapo would have done back in the day, and the brown shirts in Nazi Germany, if everyone had a smartphone back then. Like, would people have been as enthusiastic about a Nazi takeover if all of them had seen 500,000 videos of brown shirts like beating and raping people? You know, like, it's one thing to hear about our glorious brown shirts prevailed over, Jewish corruption in Dusseldorf and took over a school, liberating the Aryan children, blah, 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 blah. It's quite different to like open your phone and see a video and it's the stupidest people you've seen in your life, like muscling into a school and stomping on children, right? Didn't Goebbels make videos of them beating Jews though? Yeah, but like those were like carefully coordinated propaganda videos. No videos existed back then that weren't like being coordinated by the state. There was an effort there. We're getting unedited ICE bullshit day in, day out, you know? Okay, stop with the autoplay. Jesus. Does a news site really need a autoplay? Like, it's one thing to autoplay the video. It's another thing to have it auto playlist the videos. Oh, anyway, sorry.
Training, we believe they'll probably be deployed in the coming days, but they're not in place right now.
Okay, so you haven't seen them in your city?
No.
And do you believe having them there is necessary? Do you need them there?
No, just as you highlighted a moment ago, we're talking about one city block in 145 square miles. Certainly been some challenges.
You don't have to give them trials if you can deem them as terrorists, right? Nope. I don't know where you get that from. Being like terrorism, like being a terrorist, quote, isn't even a charge. That's not a crime. Being a member of a terrorist organization is not a crime in federal or state, any state's law. It's too ambiguous. Being part of a group, it's like how being part of a gang is not itself a crime, you know? But everyone gets due process. I mean, they're trying to change that right now, yeah, especially for like deportations. But no, they can't skip due process for that.
Down at the facility, Portland Police has been engaged down there extensively over the last 9 months. We've made over 20 arrests ourselves. We've conducting assault investigations ongoing. We're working closely with our federal partners, but the facility itself is managed and governed by the Federal Protective Service.
That isn't true. Terrorism is a charge. I said being a terrorist isn't a charge. Like, they can't slap a label on you like, oh, you're the guilty of the crime of being Al-Qaeda or whatever. You need to do a crime. Terrorism is a crime, absolutely. But like being part of a terrorist group, like if you joined like the, I don't know, if like the Klan or whatever was a federally designated terrorist group and you joined them and then you left but you did nothing with them, that's not like prosecutable. Why did you just provide a link to the government's definition of domestic terrorism to me? Are you thick? This describes acts of domestic terrorism. What I'm talking about is they can't just say you're a terrorist and then that's a crime. Anyone can say anyone's a terrorist. It's a free country, technically, theoretically, okay? This describes actions. Domestic terrorism is an action. It's a crime you commit. Dangerous criminal acts intended to intimidate or coerce a civilian population. That's committing an act. You can get it's a crime to do things or to plan to do things. They can't just say you're a terrorist and that's that.
And they have responsibility for that. And the incidents you speak of, for example, last night, occurring on their property. But Portland is very much engaged. And once again, this is just one small block in a big city that we're trying to manage for all the Portlanders.
And so for people who aren't in Portland, and what we've heard from federal officials describing what they say is the situation on the ground there, you're saying that doesn't align with what you've seen and what your officers have seen.
Correct. I mean, the city is in a tremendous state of renewal. We recognize that 20 and 21 were some tough times, but 2025, we see crime down double digits and nearly all.
It is like a very good sign that these police officers do not seem very enthusiastic about ICE. I really hope that keeps up. As a general rule, I just think that ICE are unlikable. Having to deal with them, having to deal with defending them, their calls, their behavior, their actions, their embarrassing behavior, like that on its own is embarrassing and just makes them unlikable. But also this like it's also like by implication an attack on the cops, because the reason that DHS is being sent there, the reason like nominally they're being sent there, is because the cops have done a bad job protecting law and order. Is ICE full of Gen 6ers? Yes, 100%, absolutely. And when, and God willing, when we get the big unmasking we're looking for, I don't care how it happens, but when all of these Nazi are finally revealed, their identities are revealed to the public, I don't care if it's through the California law or whatever change in guard in the administration, whenever that happens, we are going to find out just how many of them have a prior rap sheet. I bet you a bunch of these people are terrorists, insurrectionists, child rapists. They pulled the worst of the worst from America, the worst people alive, and they put them all in that one department. And you can see it every time you see a video of them doing anything out there. No, 100% of federal agents are not pedophiles. The Department of Homeland Security, in which on average every member is 8 pedophiles, is an outlier and should not have been counted. ICE does create more problems with the local police, 100%. It just makes their lives worse. You know, like the situation we're in. Hold on, somebody said that earlier the incident that was being referred to we were talking about women and children basically naked being zip tied and dragged outside in Chicago, and somebody said no, this is a different incident they're referring to. There are actually multiple incidents of this basic thing happening. So I was talking about the Black Hawk raid. This was an incident the other day in Los Angeles where, for some ungodly reason, a bunch of ICE agents stripped this woman. There were like 5 of them, and they were like, I don't know, just take her clothes off. They've censored the video, which is, I was looking at it on the second monitor to make sure it was like the censored version, but we're 30 seconds into a 1:46 video. Okay, her clothes do not get back on, and the picture they used is really weird. I don't know. I don't know why they chose a black cat. There's a potential crass explanation, but I don't think that's necessarily the correct one. Chicago police ordered to stand down as ICE agents surrounded. Legal experts warned of criminal liability. Oh yeah, I saw this. The police have been not responding to all the calls from ICE. Dispatch audio confirms Chicago police were ordered not to assist federal agents that were cornered earlier today in Chicago. Agents were en route when order was given. Dispatcher initially seemed slightly taken aback by the order, but promptly relayed the message.
Okay. Any kind of particular hairstyle, just younger, male, Hispanic, on foot, wearing all black?
No hairstyle.
Okay, 10-4. And one is for the hit and run. This guy fled from the scene at 37th Place in Kedzie. It all started at I-55 in Kedzie. Then they fled southbound at Kedzie, where that offending vehicle crashed. They ran the federal agent off the road. They fled on foot westbound 37th Place from Kedzie. It was a male Hispanic younger wearing all black clothing. 99.
Yeah, send the cars in that direction. Have them stay put 2 or 3 blocks away, all right? Have them hold tight until I give you further direction, please.
Okay, 10-4. And for the units responding to 39th Place in Kedzie per 999, if you guys can just, for the units responding to 39th Place in Kedzie, if you guys can start heading there as quick as you can, and then just hold tight for instructions with 999.
999.
999.
For the chief of patrol, clear everybody up. We're not responding over there.
Radio check. And again, per the chief of patrol, we have all the units that for 999. Chief of patrol said all units clear out from there. We're not sending anybody over to that location.
62, we're going to clear out as soon as we can, Spot. We're like locked in over here, so we're going to do the best we can to get out of here as soon as we can.
I wonder what they were going in response to. This article says as ICE agents surrounded, but that seems like a narrativization. Yeah, hold on. This decision meant Chicago officers knowingly left a federal law enforcement officer in danger, an act that legal experts could say could have serious consequences. This sounds like a narrativization to me. I'd like to know more about this. Well, I'm sure Fox News will complain about it. This website's super right-wing. I don't know why the chatter linked it. The Illinois Review, is it? Oh, yep, there it is. Democrats force shutdown over healthcare for illegal immigrants. Yeah, that pretty much tells you right there. It says America First in the top bar in tiny letters, as if I can even read, honestly.